Teen suicide is a growing problem today in our society. There is so much stress, problems, dilemmas, and difficult circumstances in our world today that for many, suicide is the best way out for them. Many say it is the coward's way out because they cannot deal with what is going on in their life. Suicide is much more complex than that and is a problem that needs to be taken seriously. The reason I have chosen this topic is because I strongly believe that there is not a big enough problem that you have to take your own life for, especially at such a young age. I believe that as a teenager, you are at the prime of your life, and during this time, you learn most about your life. God has a plan for all of us, and suicide is not one of them. God projected all of us to be productive human beings no matter who you are. My neighbor is a grandfather of a 10-year-old boy who attends Glendale Elementary. I saw this boy every once in a while at Glendale Park playing with some friends. He seemed like a typical kid just wanting to have fun. One day I heard that this boy attempted suicide by hanging himself and was in critical condition. I thought a lot about this and it really affected me. I wondered what that boy was thinking and why he would want to do that. He had so much ahead of him. Luckily, he recovered, but with serious brain injuries because oxygen was cut off to his brain for a long period of time. Suicide is the act of deliberately taking one's own life. Each year in the United States, thousands of teens commit suicide. Suicide is the third leading cause of death among teenagers. Teenagers experience strong feelings of stress, confusion, self-doubt, pressure to succeed, financial difficulty, and other fears while growing up. For some teenagers, divorce, the formation of a new family with step-parents and siblings, or moving to a new community can be very hard. For some teens, suicide may appear to be a solution to their problems and stress. There are some signs in teens that are thinking about suicide that you should be aware of. These include change in eating and sleeping habits, withdrawal from their friends, family, and activities, violent actions, running away, drug and alcohol use, personality change, suddenly wearing different clothes, difficulty concentrating, lack of schoolwork, lack of work ethic, and complaining. Half of all teenagers who have made one suicide attempt will make another. Sometimes as many as 2 a year until they succeed. The majority of the suicide attempts are expressions of extreme distress and not just harmless attempts for attention. Suicide rates differ between boys and girls. Girls think about and attempt suicide about twice as often as boys, and tend to attempt suicide by overdosing on drugs or cutting themselves. Boys die by suicide about 4 times as often as girls, perhaps because they tend to use more lethal methods, such as firearms, hanging, or jumping from heights. Teens that have suicidal thoughts need to be thinking of the people that will be affected if they do commit suicide. Teachers, coaches, family, and friends will all be left behind, and I'm sure they will be extremely upset. There is always a better route to take that is much better. All problems can be solved in some way. The song I picked to relate to teen suicide is called The Priest and the Mediator by Census Fail. I picked this song because it is about a teen that jumps out of a window to end his life. The reason I picked this song out of all songs out there is because this song seems to really show the feelings of this teenager as he is dying. The first stanza goes, "Here I lie staring at clouds and shapes of dogs and cats. I hear a woman start to yell, oh dear God, I think you fell." A man is lying on top of a building, looking at the sky, thinking about his life. He decides he cannot take this life anymore, so he jumps off the building. A lady sees him falling and thinks he fell. The chorus goes, "I'm the arrow shot straight to hell, from the bow of William Tell. My body lies kissing the ground, like a cross turned upside down." He is saying that he is going to hell for all that he has done wrong. He thinks his life is a waste. William Tell was a folk hero from Switzerland and was a master crossbowman. He makes the comparison of William Tell's bow being like him being shot to hell. He lands on the ground stomach side first and realizes what he has done was evil. Next stanza goes, a priest is rushing to my side, begins to read me my last rites. Father, you're too late, my faith is weak, so won't you save your half-hearted speech? Means a priest is coming to him to give him blessings so he can go to heaven. He says it is too late because God will not forgive him for what he has done. He wants the priest to stop because it will not do him any good, and because he thinks the priest does not even mean what he is saying. Then the chorus again. And the next stanza after the chorus, a man bends down and says, son, we're going to get through this one. Take my hand and let us pray. I scream, please get the F away. Then it means a stranger priest or his father comes up to him and tries to save him. He does not want to live anymore, so he screams to this person to back off. He realizes that people only care about him when it matters, like in this situation. And the chorus again. And the last stanza goes, the ambulance is singing as cops push back the crowd. I start to take my last breath as blood pours out my mouth. The medics walking my way, I think this could be it. I hear them start to state, the time of death is 6:30. It means the ambulance comes to try and save him with its sirens going off. The cops move everyone away from him so the doctors can operate on him. He is dying as the medics are walking away. He knows he is about to die, and so do the medics.